All right, looks like we're about 10 minutes in. Looks like we're about 10 minutes in here. Hello. All right, let me dig down to the charts here, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Just thought I'd jump on here. Had a little bit of time. Not going to spend too much time here, but I figured I'd jump on. Wow. All right. Avenge, how you doing there? Avenge Voltaire, hello, sir. How are you today? All right, so yeah, pretty brutal sell-off. One thing to notice about these sell-offs the past couple of days, I think it's been the same seller. This big drop yesterday and this big drop today coincided within the same half hour of each other, and this sell-off yesterday and this sell-off today also started at the same time, and this is actually the time where the selling stopped yesterday. So not saying it has to happen today. 4:15, and yesterday the last red candle was the 4 o'clock candle was the green candle, and so this candle is the 4:15 candle. So we're a little bit not really behind, but yeah, bear flag after bear flag, Danny. You are correct. Let me pop out this chat. Just went live real quick. Pop out that chat so I can see here. Another H shape possibly. Yeah, these H's never played out. They went to form on these longer kind of bearish consolidations. And one thing to notice about these consolidations is that they actually decreased in angle and amplitude, if you notice. So this last one looks like it could be the little blow off top to the downside. If you see what I'm saying there? So things kind of decrease in terms of the angle of the trend, and then they're also shorter. Okay, they're also shorter. So typically this would mean that the move is coming to an exhaustion point. So my target was 8,800 from a measured move perspective. It's exceeded that a little bit, and maybe due to the time factor, we may be done here. I don't know exactly. These things tend to have abrupt sells and then they pause for a while. This looks like we're going to go into another little kind of a pause scenario. Just another little type of a pause scenario. Daniel mentions, doesn't this all have to do with Mt. Gox's trustees selling portions of the 20,000 worth of Bitcoin and it's flooding the market? So that's definitely part of it. As a matter of fact, based on this time action that I noticed today, and off of that Mt. Gox article, it was quite poignant, I think, that all the selling happened overnight during that early bear market. I remember that I was up. We were up. A lot of us were up many late nights, and when you think about it, that was all that Japanese trustee selling when he was awake, and I'm over here in the U.S. So it is all sensitive to the time of the seller or the buyers, right? So in that particular case, the Mt. Gox guy was selling. I'm not sure who's selling here. I don't know what market is opening right now. I'm not quite sure. I don't know what that means, Avenge, but thank you. Usually have not bad things to say, so I'll go ahead and say thank you, whatever that means. So Ride the Track says, I believe we are in a full-on repeat of 2013, so full of fear capitulation stages coming. Thoughts? Yeah, you know what? I actually have a video I did earlier before this last sell-off. I think it was during this sell-off I did the video. And I basically, that's why I have this chart up here. What it looks like to me at this point in time, what it looks like to me is, if you look at this 2013 chart, we had several days of block selling, which is what we're experiencing now, and a big spike to the downside, then a big move to the upside, and then just another failure. I don't know if we're going to get this big jaunt to the downside and the reversal. I don't know that. These aren't going to rhyme that. I mean, these can't rhyme that closely. if you look here, obviously we didn't have this exact pattern, so we're not going to have this exact pattern. But the general point remains, there's a very deep sell-off with not a lot of it's a word I'm looking for. I'm looking for a specific word. We had a sell-off that didn't really have any kind of bounces, and then we had one bounce, and then we sold off again. We're doing something similar here, right? We're seeing the drop, the base, the drop, the base, the drop. Maybe we get another base here, like I said. So 2013, we're definitely looking like 2013. Definitely looking like 2013. I have money that I made in BitMEX today based off of some shorting. And if Bitcoin gets much lower, my BitMEX gains are going to be worth less in terms of US dollars. So I'm thinking about just removing those from Mt. Gox from BitMEX. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to handle that. Yeah, Avenge, the single seller hypothesis. So if you take the Mt. Gox news into consideration, and when you think back to when we had the 20,000 top and sold off, most of those sell-offs happened overnight during the same times, and it was that seller running his sell program, whether it was a manual sell program or an automatic sell program. The sells happened at the same time. Well, if you look at this drop, this happened at 1650 UTC time, 1615, and this drop today coincided with 1615. Okay, and the second drop for the day here happened at 1:30, and the drop today happened at, well, I can't see because that news thing is in the way, but it's pretty much 1:30. It's pretty much 1:30. So it's, in my mind, it's the same seller selling over and over again. So they sell, they let the market rise, they sell again, they let the market rise, they sell again, and they do that over and over again throughout the day. Maybe they go to lunch, I don't know, and then they sell back again. So who knows? But it does kind of look like the same seller to me, and it looks like we're continuing to sell off a little more here. Not really. Looks like we're still bouncing. When did the 2013 market start going up? April. So I have an interesting hypothesis on this market timing too. If you guys want to get into that with 2013, I'm going to post this video a little bit later. You guys are getting a sneak preview. I'm probably going to re-record it just to make it more pointed. So the hypothesis goes like this. Yeah, Simpson has a point. Mt. Gox seller hasn't even sold half yet. He has 1.5 billion left to sell. That could precede the rest of this market move. Most definitely could give us that move to the downside. But this is my theory here. This is kind of my new theory. So until this most recent low in Bitcoin, it took us 52 bars. Okay, guys, listen up here. You're going to want to hear this. It took us 52 bars to get to this most recent low. If you go back to 2013 to get to this most recent low, it took us 127 bars. That is a 40% decrease in the time it took for us to get to this low. If you extrapolate that out with Bitcoin, looks like we're getting another sell right now. If you extrapolate this out with Bitcoin to where this ultimate bottom was, right here, it was 400 bars to this ultimate bottom. If you extrapolate that out here, it takes us to May 25th, which happens to be my birthday. So, not saying it's going to happen in lockstep like that, but we could get the ultimate low in Bitcoin on this particular run May 25th. You never know. You never know. If the time thing is a factor, then maybe that's something that plays in the cards there. So Phil is saying, so the Mt. Gox whale is selling at 1615 UTC every day. Well, I don't think it's the Mt. Gox whale because the time frame is different. It seems to be about 6 hours earlier than that, so maybe it's a Russian selling, I don't know. But it just appears to be the same. This is what's called a block sale. Look at that. They're selling kind of in blocks, right? They're selling so they're not tanking the market. It's a very organized sell strategy. Okay, this is a professional selling Maybe multiple, I'm not quite sure. But either way, all I know is that the sells do start at the same time for the past 2 days. They've started at the same time over the past 2 days. So, and this is about the time yesterday when the seller stopped selling. This is about the time they stopped selling. So, we may be in for a bottom just due to that. But one thing different here for sure is the volume signature is much more aggressive. There's a much more aggressive sale happening here than happening over here yesterday. I mean, by orders of magnitude, And this is the GDAX. I'm looking at BitMEX on my other screen here. It looks like GDAX is not done selling. They look like they're still continuing. Yeah, it looks like they're still continuing. Those are two huge red candles, and it looks like it's continuing to the downside. So I can't say for certain, but we have a lower low on this candle. Maybe we'll end up with lower lows on some other ones on other exchanges. But GDAX is definitely continuing the sell-off here. This is a lot of volume here. Raphael asks, am I bullish long term? Well, that depends on your perspective of long term. Yeah, I would say later in the year compared to now to later in the year, I would say yes, I'm going to be bullish. Is it going to be back at 8,600 in December? I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, if you take the time into consideration, we bottom out May 25th. It took 2 years and 9 months. So let's do some math. So that's 24 plus 9. I'm lazy. 33 months times 0.4. That puts us at 13.2 months until we hit until we hit 20,000 again. So that would put us basically at January until we hit 20,000 again. So I guess there's a possibility we could be back to 8,000 by then if all this plays out. Again, that's if the whole thing plays out. But yeah, so that's a theory. Doing the chart analysis, if everything moves in lockstep, keep in mind a lot of things would have to happen for that to happen. So 13.2 months from December 17th, which was the all-time high there in Bitcoin. So I would say just keep that in mind. I would say just go ahead and keep that in mind. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Keep that in mind. But yeah, that's kind of a market theory. What do you guys think? So I want to put that into a video. So should I put in the video like I never get opinions on my titles, but since I have a live audience here with some of my viewers, I figure I'll ask you guys in my video. Should I put Bitcoin 20,000 in January 2019 or something like that? You think a good target like that, or you think I'm just going to get a bunch of crap again like I usually get when I do stuff like that? But I would like to do a video based on this hypothesis because it's what I'm seeing in the charts. That's pretty much what I do on my channel. Is I try to, what I identify in the charts, I like to go ahead and put out there for everyone to make money off of while I sit here and give away free advice. Yeah, clickbait, Dimitri. That's kind of the business. If I clickbait and give good information, that's kind of the business model for a lot of YouTubers. Don't do that. Wait for May, it will be 28K. Could be, Manny, could be. You can make a prediction in your title, but don't be too sure about it in your wording. Call it something like why I think 20K in January. So I did that in my last video. I said the case for Bitcoin 2600. So yeah, I could continue that theme. I do like to do that because I don't, yeah, you never know. You never know. You'll always get crap. Don't worry about it too much. Judge the views and likes only. People complain, but they click. If they had experience doing videos, they would understand. Yeah, but most people don't. Not 20K Bitcoin in January 2019 confirmed. Yeah, no, nothing's confirmed. I'm not that kind of a, at least I don't think I'm that kind of a YouTuber. The bond market collapsing this year will cause the price to go much higher than 20K. I don't know if you can coincide bonds with Bitcoin because ever since Bitcoin has existed, bond market has been pretty steady in terms of its trend, I believe. So, so Andre there says, Andre or Andre, I don't want to mispronounce your name. I just lost your comment. When do you think we'll see at least a small bounce? Well, we're seeing a small bounce. I mean, we've seen plenty of small bounces. We saw one here, saw a small bounce here, saw a small bounce here. Could be seeing a small bounce here. Raphael says, do you think Bitcoin could go lower than 3 to 4K? Did you see my last video, Raphael, about Bitcoin 2600? So I think between 3,500 and 2,600 is probably going to be the bottom, the ultimate bottom. Hey, Avenge, I had a sick kid the other day. Have fun. Hold your kid. That's all I got to say, especially if it's a younger kid. I got a 7-year-old. He's too old. My 3-year-old's getting too old already. So go ahead and hug your kids. So Johnny B says 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. have been 2 hours in the last week where huge sell-offs has occurred. Corresponds to 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. in Asia. Is when U.S. and U.K. are asleep too. So yeah, I was just talking about that earlier, Johnny B, about all of these sell-offs happened literally at the exact same time. So I'm glad you're seeing that as well. So this sell-off started right here, and this sell-off started right here. So yeah, I think it is the same seller. Do I still see evidence for downward pressure to 50% of the previous low, like you were saying the other day? Yeah, I do. I mean, I really do think that the 2013 scenario is playing out. It seems to be accelerated to about 40% on a time scale, but generally it looks like it's playing out. I really do think it is. Tether is still a ticking time bomb. Left, it will inhale whole crypto if it crashes now. Yeah, you know, Tether could be another nail in the coffin for a bullish market. Definitely could be. I think 8,300 will be bottom since all alts at ultimate lows. You know what? You know what, guys? Nothing's at ultimate lows until it's at zero. You know, our opinions about the values of these things, I'm going to say with relative certainty that, you know, no one in here has a portfolio of $1 billion or 500 million or probably even 100 million or probably even 3 million. We value the market as is irrelevant. We are pretty much at the mercy of the people with massive positions in the market. And it's our job to basically follow them because they will lead us up and down. And so what we think is high or low is completely irrelevant. You have to follow the market technicals and where they lead you. That's really the only place where you can get, you know, any kind of gauge on the market. Really, until I see a better tool, it's all technical analysis to me. I mean, so, you know, value's irrelevant, at least what we perceive as value. In reality, to be quite honest with you, to be literally honest with you, like what's the current crypto market cap right now? Current market cap, $352 billion. To be honest with you, the literal value of everything in the crypto space should be nowhere near $352 billion. Should be nowhere near $352 billion. The amount of money running through these networks from a revenue perspective, I don't know what it is, but I guarantee you it's negligible compared to the market cap. So this is all running on speculation still to this day, and it will be probably even through the next bull run, to be quite frank with you. It probably will be even through the next bull run, and that's fine with me. I don't care about that, to be quite frank with you. You know, I'm here to make money, Bitcoin money, US dollar money. I'm here to make money. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for speculation. I do like the blockchain. If I really believed in the blockchain to the point where I want to affect it, I would be coding. You know, I would be making the blockchain, but I don't have that skill set. I'm a little too old to really dive in that deep. And so, I'm just going to trade it like any other asset class. So actually, speaking of which, I'm a little curious what these market cap. A lot of people were saying that 500 billion market cap, and that was crushed. Yeah, this market's done, guys. Come on. They gotta fix this, unless it's on my mouse. Oh, okay. Why isn't it? Oh, that's why, because it moved. I'm like, it doesn't show the latest dump. So I know there's a lot of people looking for a line right here, and we just dumped right beneath it. Manny Listing asks, do you think technical analysis applies in Bitcoin? Manny, I think I've seen you here before. All I do is technical analysis. What do you think the answer to that is? Like, seriously. Seriously. I mean, like, legitimately. I'm a technical analyst. Literally, I'm a technical analyst. I have a lot of... I've been trading stocks for 15 years. I can analyze a stock in about a minute. It literally takes me about a minute to analyze if I want to be involved in a stock or not. It takes a little longer. It takes a little longer than that to make a decision, but you know, it's the same thing with cryptos. I mean, it's all technical analysis really in cryptos. So yes, I do think technical analysis applies in Bitcoin. Technical analysis, in the end, if you really want to get to the brass tacks of what technical analysis does for you, it sums up everything about the market. It literally sums up everything about the market. Reason being because if you believe something in the market, you're going to put it to work in terms of money. Okay, you're going to put money into the market in one direction or another. And so are the other millions of people. Okay, so are the other millions of people that are putting their money into the market. And so the technical analysis literally tells you what everyone is thinking that cryptos or stocks or bonds or gold are worth at any given moment in time. And when you start to be able to see the buying and the selling in the waves that I see, then hopefully you can start to form an opinion and start to make some profits with a lot of other, you know, stuff involved, just in terms of like personal strategies and things like that. Okay, so we've got Randy's TA is the best on YouTube. I think BitRage does pretty good too. I saw BitRage. I don't remember my opinion about him, but I watched this video for a little bit. Do I think some alts will start to move independently? Zuki asks. I really want that to happen, to be honest with you, Zuki. I really do want... So here's the thing. I was really thinking that Ethereum was starting to move. So let me do this. Let me do this. I was really starting to think that Ethereum was starting to move counter to Bitcoin, okay? And because it was, but this most recent FUD, this most recent sell-off, actually even right here, really proved, yeah, one of these sell-offs really proved too much for Ethereum. We're going to add Ethereum with the dollar. I want to show you guys this in terms of, yeah, that's fine. So as you can see here, Ethereum started to kind of move separate from Bitcoin right here. So Bitcoin topped and Ethereum moved counter to Bitcoin. Okay, now I think that's strictly due to the Mt. Gox selling, now that we kind of have a, you know, now that we know that it was Mt. Gox strictly selling Bitcoin. But Ethereum moved on its own, and I thought that was incredibly telling of a potential shift in market sentiment. But recently, as you can tell, it started to move back in lockstep with Bitcoin again, really as of this 6,000 low. So unfortunately, I think alts are stuck being tethered to Bitcoin, for lack of a better term. And one day I would like them to diverge, especially Ethereum, because Ethereum has nothing to do with Bitcoin, nothing to do with Bitcoin. So the fact that it trades in tandem with Bitcoin really proves that the market is immature still. It's an immature market, and it's just a bunch of whiny bitches trading, to be quite frank with you. There's no, You know, we talked a lot about institutional money coming in here. That was actually wrong, to be quite honest with you, and I even said that a lot, and a lot of us said that because we want it to be true. If institutions enter the market, we're going to start to see stability, and I don't mean that we're not going to see these parabolic moves and these big bear markets, but what I mean is that we're going to start to see altcoins moving differently, and that's just not happening. We're just not seeing that. So another reason institutions are not getting involved, at least U.S. institutions, is by mandate they can only invest in things that they have in their prospectus. So take that for what it's worth. Do I think it will recover? It'll recover in time, Buck. Yes, it will. Michael, you're welcome. I appreciate that I could save you some money. I really do. I've lost more than my fair share of money learning trading, and that education cost me a lot. And I'm trying to shorten that learning curve for you guys. Well, Matt, I'd love you to buy my courses. I'm working on them actually. Worked on them today. Going to work on them tomorrow. I'm really trying to pack them with great information. And to be quite frank with you, you guys are you're gonna, if you want to learn how to trade as a professional, or at least start to get there, guys. To be quite frank with you, my courses are gonna get you like 50 to 75% of the way there, depending on your strategy. Jesse asks, how did I get into trading? Any recommendations? Yeah, I jumped right in and lost a shitload of money. That's how I got into trading. I don't recommend doing that. I recommend getting educated. And it's different today than when I got involved in trading. There were really no, you really didn't have a lot of options in terms of learning. You had some books and stuff, but you just had to get your ass kicked in the markets. And so I did just that. And that's how I got into trading. But yeah, you really do have to start trading and putting money at risk, but you should put a very small amount of money at risk. Why don't I stick my handsome face in the corner like Crypto Bobby? Honestly, I don't think it adds a lot of value. I've thought about doing it. I don't like my background in my office, to be quite frank with you. I think it looks really cheap. I think it would lessen the validity of my videos, to be quite honest with you. It's just I don't know, I just don't like it. I'm a little self-conscious. I'm just a little self-conscious. I don't think I look that good. I got a chip in my tooth that people say, makes me look less professional. A lot of it's vanity and the fact that don't think I look very good on camera. And the second part is that I don't think I add anything to the video. Alt USD pair will reduce Bitcoin dominance. Okay, this live stream is good. Thank you, Chris. Give it a like and share it and subscribe, and have 8 million of your closest friends subscribe. SEC governed cryptos. Cryptos are not securities. Cryptos are securities. Don't get it twisted. Cryptos are most definitely securities. You're putting money to risk in a market. It's a security. You could argue it's a commodity. I guess you could argue it's a commodity, but it's somewhere in there. And you do want markets to be regulated, ladies and gentlemen. You do want markets to be regulated because we've seen a lot of hacks and we've seen a lot of things. And if we could have some of these exchanges get insured, that way your money's actually protected, you're going to see a lot more mass adoption of cryptos in terms of investments. Should I sell and go cash completely? That's up to your personal strategy. I'm completely cash except for when I'm shorting on BitMEX. I don't live through drops like this, guys. Look, this was a big drop. I mean, come on, we're down 25%. We're down 25% in Bitcoin here. I don't hold through that. If you're going to drop 25%, then it's going to take you a 50% rise for you to get break even again. Or I'm sorry, not 50. Is it 50? It's about 50, yeah. So it's going to take you, if you sell here, now I'm not advocating selling or not, but if you sell here and try to move it into another asset class or try to trade your money back, it's going to take you a 50% gain to break even. That's difficult to do. Making 50% on a trade is hard. Okay? That's very difficult. So I cut losses extremely short. Okay? I cut losses extremely short, and I let my profits ride. So there you go. That's my strategy. That's my strategy. Thank you, Alan. Appreciate it. Colin asked, should I buy at 8,000 and wait for lower? If so, what price do you think it will go to? Well, you have a price in mind there of 8,000. I'm not quite sure how you derived that price. Let me go back here to Bitcoin. Let me go to the dollar, or the daily, the dollar. Not quite sure how you derived 8,000. There's really no major support down here around 8,000. Maybe the bottom of the cup with handle you're thinking about. But I'm going to, see the streams dropping? Interesting. I don't know why it's lagging. I have no idea. Is it back? My kilobytes are back. Are we back? Buck, no. Hey, it was a healthy retracement, Buck, until it wasn't. So, you know, here's the thing, Buck. Here's the thing, buddy. Markets change every second, guys. Okay, they change every second. You can't take my video from over here and compare it to my video from over here. Just like you can't take my video from over here and take my video from over here and compare it. The market has completely shifted. The market's completely shifted. It was a healthy pullback until it turned into not a healthy pullback. So, closing a few tabs in my browser. I actually have I have extensions installed that close tabs automatically after 15 minutes. Well, I guess except for these ones. Why are these open? Oh, it's because it's my real crypto one, so I don't have that. I don't have that on here. But guys, it's not my computer. I don't know what the hell the deal is. I think it's the encoding on the streaming software. Yeah, but if you look at my task manager, whoops. I mean, I got plenty of CPU left. I don't know what's going on with my network card. My memory's okay, so I'm not quite sure what the deal is with the stream. I'm not sure. Extreme stream. That's right, .com. It's an extreme stream. $1080p isn't necessary for a live stream. Stream seems better now. Yeah, it's going up and down, and I'm using OBS to stream, and there's not a ton of really great information. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I got most of my tabs are frozen, at least the ones over here. Anyway, whatever. I don't know. I don't know if it's my ISP. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Could be, Johnny B. Could be. You know, Disco Danny, is it Disco Danny? Have I heard about Polymath and the ST20? I have not, Disco Danny, if you want to post some information. Someone asked for bandwidth tester. Son, I got 150 megs. My upload should be 15 megs. 15 megs should be my upload speed. So, you know, you're concerned with upload speed. It's your download speed you're concerned with. My upload speed is only 15. That's cable for you. Bitcoin going to 500. It's official. Yeah, you know what? It is. I find comments like that kind of funny. What's your prediction for what Bitcoin will go to? My analysis on the charts puts us between 3,500 and 2,600. Overall, that's what the analysis says. What do I think of Ncash? I have no idea about Ncash. When Bitcoin's in a tizzy like this, guys, I'm just pretty much trading Bitcoin. There's a lot of inherent risk in alts when Bitcoin is dumping, so I don't really get it. I kind of stay out of the alt market, really, to be quite frank with you. I did try a couple of trades. I tried trading the XRP thing. I got out flat with that one. I was a little short-sighted on my little short-sighted in my view there. I should have held for longer. I would have had a profit, but it is what it is. All right, so what's going on here? Looks like we've got a little bit. Let's check it out. Yes, yeah, man, just still consolidating. We came to one of those consolidation periods. Bud, hi. You've got a free week in our apartment in Ubud, Bali, whenever you're in Southeast Asia. Thank you, Ubud. I appreciate the sentiment there. You have some money in Tether. Should you leave it there or try to cash it out? I guess it depends what your plans are with that money, to be quite frank with you. If your plans are to stay cash during a bear market and you don't want to jump right in, then I would cash it out for US dollars. If you're not planning on trading, I don't see a reason to stay in Tether. There is a little bit of inherent risk in there, so I would move it to dollars if that's something that's easy for you to do. Chris asks, how much is my course going to be? I haven't decided that, to be honest with you. It's going to be, it's so much information. I may break it up into like courselets. So, I don't know. I'm thinking like $400 or $500 probably, to be quite frank with you, for the whole thing. I mean, it's more than just reading charts, guys. It's psychology, it's history, it's cryptos, it's everything. So that's what I'm thinking. Or I'll do like little courselets for probably like, 150, 200 each or something. But there's 11 or 12 courses in total with 200 lessons wrapped up between all of those. Ooh, this is a great question. Buck asks, how can just 400 million crash the market like that? I thought the market was way bigger than that. So, great question. Let me put it to you this way. How do I do this? This is actually in one of my courses on market cap. You know what? Let me just put it to you this way. So the market cap is this is the market cap. So you've got Bitcoin with 17 million Bitcoins, right? 17 million Bitcoins in circulation. Now I'm looking at BitMEX right now, and there's trades going on every second here that move Bitcoin 50 cents. Okay? So if you move Bitcoin 50 cents with a trade of 1 Bitcoin, what's 50 cents going to do to the market cap? It's going to move that market cap $8.5 million off of 50 cents. Okay, so $400 million can move the market cap considerably, and really has nothing. The market cap has nothing to do with how much money has been invested or withdrawn from cryptocurrencies. So, it's the market cap really is irrelevant in terms of how much money is moving in and out of cryptocurrencies. Does that make sense? So if you go ahead and buy, 10 BTC and you move the market $1, that's going to be a $17 million market cap. Shift. When in reality, you're not putting near that much money to work. All right, go back to some comments here. False Flag says that's an expensive course. You know what? That price isn't set in stone. To be honest with you guys, it's so much information. It's so much information, and why is your comment automatically blocked? Andre says you're worried about your looks. Have you seen Tone Vase? He has a descending triangle on his forehead. That's hilarious. You know what? You're right. That guy is funny looking, and his I don't know if it's his accent or his voice, but it's just I have a hard time taking him seriously. I have a little bit of a hard time taking him seriously. I know people say he's good. I kind of get it. I kind of don't. But I guess I just haven't spent a lot of time reading his videos. So, watching his videos. I guess I really haven't done that. Is my Market Cycles course still available? If so, how many hours is it? Yeah, my Market Cycles webinar, it was a webinar that I did. It is still available. It's on my website, which is, I believe, in the description at Real Crypto Trade. Or no, I'm sorry, real-crypto.com /webinars. It's up there. It's $22. It's actually 2 3/4 hours for the entire thing. So I think that's a pretty good bargain. But that's one topic. That's one topic. So, well, you know, we're talking about the course. Let me get your guys' opinion, if you don't mind. I mean, we can talk Bitcoin. We've been talking all kinds of stuff, but if you don't mind, let me show you what I've got. So I got my trading courses here. So these are the different trading courses. I've got one for new investors. I've got kind of the different markets to trade that could be wrapped up in new investors, money management. And these estimated times are probably going to be revised up. I've got a whole course on trading psychology, which I haven't even dove into yet. Charting 101, charting 202, volume analysis is its own thing. Charting indicators is its own thing. And I actually am going to dive deep into trading strategies. I'm going to dive really deep into trading strategies because a lot of people don't do this, and I think they're doing a disservice to people. They're doing disservice to people. Cryptos versus stocks is going to give you guys. I'll take a look at the Nikkei. I really haven't checked it out yet. And then trading for a living. A lot of people want to go ahead and trade for a living, and I think I just really want to give people a good idea what it's like to trade for a living and what you can expect and what's realistic, because a lot of people aren't going to be able to do it like they want to, but they're really not going to be able to. So for instance, if you go into money management. So these are what we're doing here. I go into stop losses, profit taking, putting it all together. So I really try to break it down. So if you guys have specific questions, you can come back and, you know, okay, how many positions, how, you know, layering into a position, you know, complete strategies in terms of money management, you know, how to make it your own, how to have long-term portfolios, short-term portfolio strategies, you know, max. I mean, there's just a ton of information in here, and to be honest with you, like it's a kind of a value thing, I think. Trading strategies. Spend 0.1 and fix your tooth. Hey, you haven't seen my tooth, man. I like my tooth. So, you know, trading strategies. I mean, I've got all kinds of strategies in here. This is more than just how to read a chart, guys. How to read a chart, to be quite frank with you, is about 25 to 30% of trading. Your trading strategy is huge. Your understanding of market psychology is huge. It's just huge. I mean, this is a lot of information. And I really want to answer questions before you guys even have them. I really want to answer questions before I even have. That's why I'm thinking it is a large amount. It is a large amount, and I may break it up into like just charting. I may do trading strategies as its own course. So I may break it up into 3 or 4 different bundles, or you just buy the whole thing. I don't know. If you guys have any feedback for me, I would appreciate it, because I have never done this before, and I've been trading for 15 years. I've wanted to do something like this, and this YouTube channel is giving me that opportunity to do so. So anyway, if you guys want to give me some feedback, I would appreciate it. Kid asks, what's my net worth? I'm not a trillionaire. I'm not a trillionaire. It's not as high as you think it is. My net worth right now, probably around 175, 200,000, something like that. My net worth. That's my net worth. Will the courses be hosted on Udemy or learning site like that? It might help you to get more customers than if they are just on your website. There's issues with Udemy, to be quite frank with you. I've looked into Udemy and I've looked at putting courses on Udemy. I've started a few courses on Udemy, and they're not hosted on Udemy. It's strictly on my website. That's a business decision that I've kind of decided on. Yeah, it seems like a Udemy course that you could find for 10 or 20 bucks. I get it, man. I get it. And that's why I'm not hosting it on Udemy, to be quite frank with you. When I'm done with this course, I probably will do a smaller intro course on Udemy to point people to my website. But it is what it is. It's kind of a business decision. So I don't know. I have another business model as well that I wanna go over. I thought about doing like a subscriptions, for like 30 bucks a month, where you get all the courses and we get to do like a different chat room, and I do like weekly annotated charts and newsletters and stuff like that. I've also thought about a subscription service like that. So Relaxin says, good to learn trading, not guessing or gambling. And that's the whole point, is that it's trading, okay? It's not just charting, it's all of trading. Why was Mt. Gox whale selling at lows? Can you explain why he did that? Or was it just that he sold so much each day that caused the spike lows? Well, think about this, Matthew. When Mt. Gox went ahead and when that whole thing happened, Bitcoin was probably at about $800. So selling at $10,000 from $800 doesn't seem like it's cheap, does it? So doesn't seem like it's cheap. Here's a little bit of a bounce. Like I told you guys, that selling stopped right on cue from a time perspective, like I was talking about earlier. So there you go. When do I see alts breaking from the BTC trend? At what point does their intrinsic value worth more than BTC, which just has become an asset class? Chuck, very great and valid question. Where'd you go, Chuck? Where'd you go? Did I lose Chuck? So anyway, oh, here you go. So there's no intrinsic value in most of these blockchains. I talked a little bit about that earlier. There's no value to most of these. Ethereum has value. Neo has value. ADA has potential value. But a vast majority of these projects have very little intrinsic value. I don't know when they're going to spread out from each other. I think that's when when more institutions are able to actually buy and sell, like legally be able to buy and sell. Is there a large chance for the BTC market to die if I invested like 3,000 as a kid? I'm not understanding that question. Should you switch to Tone Vase? I believe he just started a live stream. You could. He's got a lot more subscribers than I do. Can I apply your trading strategy in penny stocks? So, yeah, you can actually. You can apply. So here's the thing: when you understand how the market works, you will adapt that reality to your trading style. Does that make sense? You don't have to fit my trading style to your trading style. What will happen is your trading style will naturally lead you to a viewpoint of the markets, and it will coalesce into one thing. You can't take my style and force it into penny stocks. You can manipulate my style into working for penny stocks. You definitely could. And everything relates. I mean, everything's relatable. The difference is the time frame. The difference is the time frame. Johnny B says, I think it'd be good to start releasing videos as soon as you can and release them as soon as you do rather than try to get all videos finished first. You know, I agree with you because it's taken me a long ass time, and yeah, I need to do that. So Johnny B, you got some good advice. I really do appreciate your feedback, buddy. You get on my case sometimes, and I like that, and you give me good feedback, and I like that. So thank you for joining me. My analyses are scary real. Yeah, sometimes I wish they weren't. I wish Bitcoin wasn't going down. I want to make some more money this year. Hard to know for sure whether it's comprehensive enough, but just looking at just looking at the topic titles. But I would like to learn those things. Pricing is very important, though. Yeah, you know what? Like, I agree, pricing is important. But to be really honest with you, I put a lot of information out on YouTube, and I really get jack shit money-wise for what I put on YouTube. Like, literally, I get no, like, my total donations are 0.04 BTC, and most of that is from me buying from a friend from cash. You know, I don't get, you know, there's a gentleman on here that every once in a while gives me a super chat, and he's giving me like 50, 60 bucks. And, yeah, so it has to be worth my time to be giving out this information. Like, I'm kind of doing it to guys, this is what I want to do. I want to help you guys out, but I have to make a living at it. Okay? I really do. I've got so much money that I have set aside, and I'm using that money to try to make this work, and if it doesn't, I have to go away. If it doesn't work and I can't pay my mortgage and support my 2 kids and my fiance, I've got to go away and go back to a real job. So do do do. 163,000 Bitcoins. I wish. Wouldn't a token like Omega with a potential viable staking model have intrinsic value? Do you see tokens like this ever break in BTC trend? Yeah, Chuck, I think Omega is one of the ones with intrinsic value. I think it is. How to value it properly is interesting. In the end, though, the market will value it. Barani, thank you very much for the super chat. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. But yeah, I think Omega is one of those that has intrinsic value. I think it has a good business model. And I think it's good. So, but in terms of valuation, you know, the charts really kind of lead you to what is expensive and inexpensive. Ian, what's up, buddy? It's going okay. 10:13, not too late, thank goodness. Just thought I'd jump since the market was kind of doing some stuff and do a live stream for everyone. So Relaxin says, losses cost more to self-educate. Education is expensive. That's 100% true. You know how much money I've lost trading? Okay, in my first 10 years? $100,000. So I think $500 to get you guys half to 3/4 of a trader is a freaking bargain. And the problem is nobody realizes that. Corrupt. You know, you're the man I was talking about that's giving me like 50, 60, now like 80 bucks. So I do appreciate I appreciate your appreciation. Ian, thanks, man. Ian's been around a long time. He's always had some good thoughts, even though he's fairly new to investing. He's a good chat there. And believe it or not, he's famous. Hope I didn't just throw you under the bus there, but he's a good dude. You have to release video modules by module. If you were a band, you would release a single, then an album, now wait 10 years to release an anthology. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think I'll do it course by course. Maybe that's the way I'll do it. New to this crypto thing, is Ripple worth investing in, says NX. Ripple is worth investing in, but you have to keep it all in perspective when it comes to price analysis, and that's kind of, you know, what we talk about. It's kind of what we talk about, right? Like, I would not invest in Ripple. You know, I have a certain investing style, and I don't invest when things are crashing like that. So Kid Destiny, maybe I'll look into that. Maybe I will. I've thought about that, connecting with people. Maybe I'll start doing that and seeing if I get more subscribers in that way. So thank you very much. If Trevon James can do it, so how much did Mt. Gox whale had and how much is left? He sold 400 million and has 1.5 billion left to sell in terms of dollars. If you're so strong as trading, why do you need to go back to work? I really like your content. That's a great question. So let me put it to you like this. There's those that know a lot and those that do really well based on that knowledge, okay? I know a tremendous amount. My performance is increasing every year, little by little, okay? Little by little. The trading psychology part of it, and that's why in my course here, where's it at? Trading psychology is going to be one of my biggest courses, okay? I haven't even really dove into it yet. But, oh, here we go. This will be one of my biggest courses because my entire problem, most of my trading career, number one, I didn't know a lot up until about 5 to 6 years ago, and that's part of that. Learning curve. But I have psychological problems with my trading, even though I know better. It's still, trading is very emotional. And I'm getting better year by year. But look, I'm not going to stake my entire financial likelihood day trading, okay? Thank you, Paul. Thank you very much, my friend. My personal goal for my trading is accumulation of capital. I don't want to take my trading gains and spend them every month. Does that make sense? I want to take my net worth and multiply it. I want to get to where I'm worth 10, 50, 20 million dollars, okay? That was in reverse order, but that may be the order it happens, 10, 50, 20, the way that it goes. But yeah, so I want to take my net worth and I want to double that and triple that and 10 bag that. Like, for instance, my Roth IRA, I only trade stocks in my Roth IRA, okay? And I'm thinking of doing the same thing with cryptos. I really, if I get to the point where my Roth is worth $50 million, then yes, I'll withdraw some money and pay the tax penalty. But I'm not a day trader, guys. I want to be wealthy. I don't want to live off of $10,000 a month income. I want to live off $100,000 a month income, but it takes a lot of money to do that, and you have to build up to that. So, Paul, thank you very much, man. That's by far very generous of you. I really appreciate that. Do you have a question to go along with your super chat comment here, buddy? Yeah, Phil mentions your videos are very concise. A lot of the other guys do 30-minute videos. I started shortening my videos when my analytics mentioned that you guys only watched for 5.5 minutes. So I really try to keep them under 6 minutes. So you guys get the full point of the content. I can ramble. You guys have, I've been doing this for an hour now. You guys have heard me ramble. I can ramble with the best of them. But if you guys aren't going to listen, what's the point? What's the point? Okay, so sitting around negative 30%, would it be wise to cash out and wait for the 3K range and go back in, or just sit it out and get more in case it goes there? Thanks. So being down 30% is very scary. That's going to take you about a 50% increase to get your capital back. All right. I really can't make that decision for you. I don't know your temperament as an investor. If you don't mind holding on for a year or so, then you can go ahead and do that. You can go ahead and hold. That's not the worst thing. But if you're going to be scared if we get down to 3,000 and 4,000, if that's going to scare you and you think you're going to go ahead and sell, then I would just sell. I would just sell now and sit and wait it out. But it depends on your temperament as an investor. I don't want to lean your decision one way or another. It's your money. It's not my money. And you have to do what's best for you. Don't do what I say. Does that make sense? Someone asked my Twitter handle at RealCryptoTrade. That is not in the description. Oh, it's not. I'll go ahead and put it in the description. There you go. Should pop up. Do. In this crash, altcoins are going down in BTC value, but in dollar value, they are tanking. What do we interpret here? I'm new to crypto. Please advise. Yukon. So, you know, this is what happens. Everything sells off when Bitcoin sells off. It's a little counterintuitive, to be honest with you. You would think they would rise a little bit because of the inverse relationship, but they don't. I don't have a great answer to that. Out of curiosity, what is your day job? Muhammad asks. I don't have one right now. I'm basically doing this and trying to make my trading courses. I do some side work. My profession is a home automation technician. I've actually worked for people worth billions of dollars and worked in their homes. Some have been professional stock traders. I actually worked for a hedge fund manager here in Phoenix, Arizona, in a $50 million house doing a $1 million home automation system. Love that stuff. It's really fun, but doesn't pay near as well as investing. What are your thoughts on IOTA? I like IOTA if they can get their act together technically. I think their chart's falling apart like everything else. Robert says never try to time the market. I completely disagree, Robert. If you didn't sell when it dropped, selling now makes no sense, says Zarazu. Ride the Track says not to talk about alts. I actually have stopped talking about alts, mainly because of time constraints, but also because the market's been bearish and the Bitcoin is the bigger story. And I think people are better served knowing where Bitcoin is going than knowing about where Ethereum is going. Ripple used to be as stable as Tether. Isn't that the truth? Ripple was stable for a long time. All right, you're welcome, Fambe. Have a nice weekend as well. You too. What does it mean that people are cashing out to USD? They're leaving the market. And this is what happens in the whole 2013 scenario. Okay, I know I haven't moved my chart in a while. Sorry about that. But if a lot of people are moving away into US dollar, that means they're leaving cryptos. They're done. And when they're done, the market's done. And that's what happens in 2013. That's what happened in 2013, okay? Sorry, I'm trying to get there. The heck is going on here? I'm in Bitstamp. There we go. Okay, you're going to freak out on me because I have Ethereum. So let's get out of Ethereum. So this is what happens in these markets. And my psychology video I did a little bit ago, talked about this, is that this is a hopeful market, and then when hope is gone, people leave. They just go away, and that's what this is. That's what this part of the market is right here, is people going away. People going away. I can't seem to be able to get my card to work on the super chat thing, but fair play, thanks for your answer. I understand that technical knowledge and execution are two separate things. What's happening in the chart now? I don't know. Let's go look. We're consolidating this downside movement. Could be a little bit of a reversal. Has a, could be a bit of. We are due some kind of a bounce, I think, at some point. We're not just going to keep continuing lower. This seller will exhaust himself at some point. But the volume says there's still plenty of selling left to be had. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on a second. I'm going to grab a drink real quick. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. Thank you for that. Ooh, water is good. All right. Yukon says, I believe it's a repeat of 2013, but the Mt. Gox selling Bitcoin is intentional. Yeah, I'm not sure. You know, to be honest with you, I don't know why they didn't just give people back their Bitcoins. I don't know who's getting paid out of the settlement, but that really just astonishes me. They're selling Bitcoin for fiat. I think that's stupid. I think that's quite stupid. Kid Destiny, out of curiosity, what coins are you hodling now, and what did you pay for them? Kid Destiny, I'm not hodling anything. I am basically completely in cash right now. Well, I have some Bitcoin in BitMEX that I've been shorting with, and I've quadrupled that account shorting Bitcoin over the past 2 days. That's been pretty fancy. But yeah, I'm in cash, buddy. I'm in cash. I don't hodl anything. I'm not a hodler. What Muhammad asks, what determines if this is a repeat of 2013? Well, we'll know in 2020 if it's a repeat of 2013. I've put out 8, 10, 12 videos on this topic, Muhammad. It's been quite apparent that 2013 and the current market are rhyming in lockstep. So it's pretty much 2013. I mean, it's not exact, obviously, but it's interesting. Okay. Hey, Aviad, how you doing there, buddy? How you doing there? So Buck says, funny how every TA with hundreds of thousands of followers think the market was bullish when it was going up, and as soon as it crashed, everyone is bear and their analysis went out the window. You have to move with the markets. So this is the thing with trading, okay? And I told you guys this. I told you guys this, Buck, if you were listening. I told you this, and if you didn't watch the whole video, that's your fault, okay? That's your fault. But I told you we have to get over 11,775. I said that about 37 times. I said that 37 times. I've made videos about this. Man, I know I put out a lot of videos. Maybe you guys can't watch all of them, and I get that. But if you don't listen to the whole content of the video and take your own spin on it instead of opening your mind and taking in the information, you know, I can lead a horse to water, guys, but I can't let you drink. When this is a cup with handle, and this is a cup, this is a handle, this is no longer a handle, okay? And then coinciding with what happened with the 2013 chart, this market is broken at this moment in time. And you have to move with the markets. You can't hold steadfast in a viewpoint. You cannot, okay? You can have a hypothesis, and there's a point when it's proven correct, and there's a point when it's proven false, and you move with the evidence. All right, let me scroll down here. Yukon says, I wish I had the heart to be, I wish I bought in at 250 and panic sold at 7,000. How dumb should I feel, Paul says. Hey, Node Investor, what's up, buddy? How you doing? You enjoying the fall here? Looks like live stream from Node tomorrow. Panic sold at 7,000. I don't know if you should feel dumb, to be quite frank with you. You've made an excellent profit. So 250 to 7,000, buddy, you can't feel bad about yourself, okay? You can't feel bad about yourself. That is a trade that most people will never do. I don't know if I'll ever do that trade, to be quite frank with you. I generally don't have the long-term holding perspective to do that. I don't know if you should feel dumb. If the market tanks and you buy back in, if it gets to, 3,000, 4,000, then you buy back in. Then you buy back in, and then you ride the next wave up. Ride the next wave up. So Haman asks a pretty valid question. So if these movements are due to someone selling and or buying, how can we say this is mirroring 2013? Any movement in the charts is valid. Just because the veil's been lifted and you know a little bit about who sold doesn't mean it's less valid. It means that the mystery's kind of gone away. But generally, price action is price action. You go with it. The money that's put to work in the markets tells a story, and if you can read that story, then you can, infer the next possible action or the overall direction of the market. And look, it doesn't matter if it's the Mt. Gox trustee or some Goldman Sachs billionaire who sold all of his Bitcoin. It just doesn't matter. Yeah, Johnny says IOTA has lots of issues. You know what? The other Ethereum has lots of issues though too, doesn't it? Doesn't Ethereum have lots of issues? I know ADA has lots of issues. I know Bitcoin has lots of issues. They're all projects they're working on. I think IOTA sits in an interesting place, and with the Tangle, I like the theory behind the Tangle, and even the name the Tangle just sounds cool. And they have the best logo in crypto. I think they do. So I want them to win. Is the long-term Bitcoin bullish trend still intact? Overall, yes. Like if you take a monthly view, yeah, for sure. Look, it's going to be higher lows all the way around. We had a low of like whatever it was in 2013. Where's my Bitstamp chart? Is this Bitstamp? This one's Bitstamp. So yeah, I mean every low. So we had a low here of like $1. Then we had a low here of $75 and a low here of $160. Maybe this time we get a low, like I said, of about between $3,600 and $2,400. Okay, that's still going to be a higher low overall. Eventually, Bitcoin, I believe, will go much higher than 20,000. If you're going to buy in at 2, 3, or 4,000 and end up selling at 50, 60,000, you're welcome. You're welcome. It's Node Investor here. Node Investor is here, if he's still here. He's down here towards the bottom. Maybe he's still here. What should be the strategy now if you're still holding some alts? That's a tough one. It depends on the alts you're holding. It depends on your risk tolerance. It depends on your trading strategy. And it depends on the altcoins. There's a lot of altcoins that are just garbage coins that probably won't come back, and some of the more quality ones will, but it will take a lot of time. It will take many, many months, if not longer, just depending on the coin. Really just depends on the coin. Guys, look at CoinMarketCap against BTC. Top 10 alts are green, except only 3 in red for last hour. So BTC value, you are not losing much, but then you should believe BTC that it will bounce back. Could bounce back. You never do know. Doesn't look like it wants to, though. Not right now. Okay. And Buck says, I wasn't talking about you. You were actually one of the bears when many people I followed on Twitter were predicting 12, 13, and 17K. All right. I'd like to thank you guys for the guys that are donating. I do appreciate that. I do have mortgages to pay. Well, a mortgage to pay. Yeah, so Johnny, you're right. Ethereum and Bitcoin are not broken like IOTA, but they still have issues. Everything's got issues in crypto right now. Why aren't the bulls defending? I'm sure Gox isn't the only person with a lot of assets. So that's a good question, Buck. Typically, bulls will not buy because they know the market, and they know the market's going lower, so why would they overpay for an asset that they don't have to? Keep in mind, the smart money has a lot of smart money. okay? And they have the patience. These guys do this for a living. They've been doing it for 10 and 20 years. They don't mind waiting a year or 6 months to buy Bitcoin at 3,000. They don't mind that one bit. So they're just going to sit on the sidelines, let the mayhem play out, and pick up the pieces. That's their job, actually. That's their job. When you look at market cycles and how they work and the different market participants, when you understand this, and this is what I explained in those trading courses, is that when you understand the confluence, when the whole market comes together and meshes, and you can see the psychology between the newbies and the oldies and the smart money and the dumb money and how it coalesces, then you can put this whole picture together, and then you can start to make real good decisions. Water is good. If you had a lot of alts, I think your situation would be a lot worse. Oh, it looks like you're replying to a comment. Okay. In my humble opinion, we'll go to 3K, but in a month or two, take a look at BTC chart. It's identical. So here's interesting. How many people are watching now? I don't know. Yes, about 261. I'm not sure if it's about the same people, but so here's the thing. I did this analysis a little bit ago. I'm going to do this analysis again. Okay, someone asked me how low I see this great bear run. If you look at my last video where I called the case for Bitcoin 2600, that's one of my, somewhere between 35 and 2600 so far appears to be the ultimate low if the percentage drops in Bitcoin hold the same. If they don't, we'll have to wait and see. There's lots of price levels. 5,000 is going to be a big barrier if we get down to 5,000. And then down here at 3,000 is going to be a big. Those are your next two big supports, in my opinion, are 5,000 and 3,000. Huge support down there. But from a time perspective, if you take a look at the most recent low, which was right here to the prior high, it took about 124 bars in 2013. In 2018 here, it's taken like 54 bars. Okay, so we have an accelerated timeline. If you view things in that perspective, 52 bars, that is a 40% reduction in time it may take for this to play out. If you extrapolate that to the ultimate low in Bitcoin, which was this 160, which was 400 bars, that actually puts you out at May 25th, which happens to be my birthday. Literally puts us at May 25th. 160 bars, 40%, or I'm sorry, 400 bars at 40% is 160 bars, which is my birthday. So if this plays out in that manner, not saying it does, but it's a possibility, then you're looking at approximately late May for the ultimate low. Now, for us to get back to 20,000 in 2013, that took 2 years and 9 months. That puts us, if the same timeline applies, if you want to apply it, 40%, 13.2 months. That puts us in January of 2019, getting back to 20,000. I'm going to do a video about that. I'm going to do a video about that. So it's just a theory, but if people want targets, people like time frames, that's kind of that's something to possibly look forward to. I can cry on my birthday. Those would be tears of joy because I will be like gathering all of my scrap cash and my birthday money and buying Bitcoin. If Bitcoin hits $2,600, I will just be buying gobs and gobs of Bitcoin. I will probably take a loan out to buy Bitcoin, to be quite frank with you. I do not do debt. I don't do debt, but maybe I'll take a loan out for I don't know. Maybe I'll just take out a home equity loan and just buy 50 grand worth of Bitcoin or 100 grand worth of Bitcoin and then double it and then pay off my home equity loan. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, all right, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, got any more questions? I'm kind of rambling. Been doing this for an hour and 20 minutes. It's been a lot of fun. You guys got to see a preview of my trading courses. I got some really good feedback from a lot of people here. I really appreciate that. And I'll take that into consideration as I'm developing these courses. And Ben asks, why I'm so sure about the 2600 number. I'm not so sure, Ben. I'm not so sure. If you've been watching me for a while, if not, continue watching me. I don't get super sure, okay? I don't get super... Sometimes I am. Sometimes I am and I get really pointed. Like, I have some video titles about Bitcoin 6,000, which actually happened. Bitcoin 6,000, I've got, you know, back down here during Bitcoin 5,000, I talked about Bitcoin 3,000. That happened. I talked about Bitcoin 11 or 11.5. It went down to 10.4. That was a little breach. Oh, well. So there's certain times where I'm really certain. This type of a prediction is different, though. Is a little bit different, though. So the reason why 2600 is because in 2013, you know, again, just go, you know, I'm using this as a template, right? So picture this is 6,000. Hey, thank you very much, Mohammed. I appreciate that, buddy. If I was still holding Bitcoin at a loss, would I sell at this point? I know I've been asked this question before. So Mohammed, it depends how far you're down. Depends how far you're down, and it depends if you're okay with Bitcoin going back down to 3,500 to 2,600, and if you're willing to hold. It depends on your temperament. The main thing I ask people is this: if Bitcoin goes down to 5,000, are you going to be just awestruck and want to sell? Is it going to be so painful that you can't continue holding? If that is the case, then I would just cut your losses and get out. I would just cut the losses and get out. Yeah, Mohammed, I was thinking 500 for all of the courses is what I was thinking. That's my thought process right now. But I've been given some feedback I should piecemeal them out. So maybe I would do like, $50 per course, and that would still end up being about $500. So for the whole thing. Yeah, nothing's set in stone though. But Mohammed, that would be my advice. Would be to it comes down to your personality type, my friend. It comes down to your personality type and how you view investing and risk, okay? If you're okay holding Bitcoin at 5,000, that's great. Otherwise, I would just cut your losses. You can try to wait for a bounce here. I can't say that's not a bad thing. We could bounce here and go back up and maybe test 10,000 again or something like that. And keep in mind, I definitely think we're gonna have this scenario play out. That's my opinion based on my analysis of the charts. But again, it's an opinion. It's an opinion, okay? I may be very convincing because I kind of feel strongly about this, but I don't want to FUD anyone out of a position strictly based off my analysis. So take that for what it's worth as well. But someone asked my 2,600 target, where that came from and why do I feel so strongly? I don't feel so strongly, but the analysis comes from this. And I go over this in that video about Bitcoin 2,600, my last video. So Bitcoin came down from this low, which you can view this as the 6,000 bottom, and ultimately went down 55%. Okay, if you take that 6,000 low and you take a 55% chunk out of it, you're sitting at 2,600. So that's how I came to that number. Yukon, I should do a course to advise on psychology and how to hold BTC. You're good at it. I can add that to the course, Yukon. That could be something good. One thing about holding, this is the thing about holding that a lot of people, so like the whole hodling movement, in my mind, it comes from, now stay with me here, I'm not trying to put anyone down. The hodling movement originally came from people, in my mind, like from a psychological perspective. If you've got Bitcoin from $100, $500, $1,000, and it's at 4,000, 5,000, 11,000, you're like, yeah, I'm holding Bitcoin no matter what, because you've already got a big gain. But if you've got Bitcoin, Hamant, good night, my friend. But if you've got Bitcoin from 10,000 and you just got in December and you go, yeah, I'm holding Bitcoin, that's a dangerous proposition, because if you know anything about, where we are in market cycles, then you understand we're later in the market cycle, and just hodling for the sake of hodling because it sounds cool. Guys, sounding cool and making money there aren't the same things, okay? Sounding cool and making money don't go hand in hand. If you want to make money, you're going to have to piss off a lot of people, okay? You're really going to have to piss off a lot of people. There's very few people that have made a lot of money by making everyone happy. It just doesn't happen. So I mean, that's kind of the thing. Hodling came from people that already had profits, okay? And then everyone says, hodl, hodl. Well, your perspective from hodling could be completely different from someone else's perspective. They have a different view on the markets. They have a different risk tolerance. Their personality is different. And that's why the psychology of trading is extraordinarily important. Extraordinarily important. Yeah, so that's kind of it. That's kind of it. All right, what we got here? So I don't really look at the chats while I'm ranting. Because I'm busy ranting. All right. Muhammad, thank you. Look forward to finishing those courses. Sure, Robert. Go ahead. I'll answer specific coin questions. All right. Games that have low barrier of entry but have additional content for purchase make way more than the $60 games. Touche, my friend. Touche. How to apply that to a course is interesting, though. I don't know how to apply that to the course. ICX. Ooh, last time I looked at ICX, it had broken what I thought was a good No, that was a different. That was Venn. Yeah, last time I looked at ICX, we were. I think it was on my last live stream. Yeah, it was my last live stream. We just had a little pop-up right here. So, look, when you're in these coins that are just pointing downward like this, especially when Bitcoin's dropping like a stone, it is never a good idea to buy. First of all, I would never buy anything on a dip like this. I do not buy dips of this nature. I will typically, if you guys remember me when we bounced off of 6,000, I'm not sure how many people watch all of my videos, but if you've been with me, if you've been watching my videos, kind of sense that time frame. Are we setting up to sell off here again? Sorry guys, Bitcoin could be doing something. We're getting a flurry of action here. We could see one of the last big drops possibly. Come on, I clicked the damn button. There we go. Man, you click a button, it takes like 10 seconds to fill your order. Okay. Sorry, I just entered a short position here. Didn't think I would, but I did. What were we talking about? Yeah, anytime you're looking at a coin pointing down like this, number one, never buy. And it's going to be difficult to make the decision to sell. Remember when I said earlier, if you're down, 25%, it's going to take 50% for you to gain your money back. if you're down more than that, it's going to take even more to come back. So there comes a point where you have to cut your losses. You literally have to cut your losses just to be able to trade again. And that's the thing with, that's one of the things with trading most people don't understand. They hold deep into losses and then they just end up getting wrecked. So yeah, I'm not a fan of ICX here. I wouldn't be shorting here either. It's really far down here in the pattern. Really far down here in the pattern. Up 10%, but I don't really like, I'm not getting a big move here. Let's see here. Bitcoin dropping again. Good work, good work, good advice. I was curious what you think about the technicals on ICX because it's such a young coin and going so low. Yeah, so low can go lower. That's kind of the key lesson there. And low tends to go lower. Highs beget new highs and lows beget new lows. So that's kind of how it goes. Intelligent says, what was the positions, if you don't mind me asking? I don't know what you mean, what positions you're referring to. I'm not sure. Shorted at 8,700, what would a good stop loss be? You should, if you're still shorting, you should actually move your stop losses into profit stop losses. So you actually want to move, you want to move to break even, and then you want to continue moving lower as the price steps lower. You want to lock your gains in. You don't want to, like if you're up, 10, 20, 30, 40%, I'm not sure what you're shorting and if you're using leverage, but you want to move your stop as quick as you can to break even and then even further into profits as you drop. Oh, that I went in on BTC? I did a short. I've got a short just kind of sitting, waiting to go in case the market drops because it's been in a bear mode this entire time. So I'm just sitting. I just sit here with my finger on the trigger and hopefully I make a good decision. Yeah, like I'm not super happy with this action right now. I would like it to drop more on this action. Sorry guys, my short on my other screen and my chat are complete opposite sides of the screen. So you say ICX is your coin. I do not subscribe to liking coins. I don't like anything. I like what is behaving well technically. But I would really not be looking to buy back in, to be quite frank with you. Not right now. You want to wait until you see some kind of bottom form, but that day isn't today. AVAD, yes, that is how you short. You sell, then buy back in at lower prices, exactly. You're basically borrowing a Bitcoin, selling it, and then just giving them the Bitcoin back, and hopefully you're profitable. Reza, thanks for your videos. Sold Bitcoin at 12K. Did I help you sell, or did you do that on your own? Because if I helped you sell, yes, that's awesome. That would make me feel good if I could save some people some money. Oh yeah. Jay, I do not have a video on how to short Bitcoin. It's extremely risky. It's extremely risky to short Bitcoin, and it's an easy way to wreck an account. And while I could put an affiliate link out to BitMEX and probably make a little bit of Bitcoin, I do have an affiliate link out there, but I don't do any tutorials on it because if you're brand new, I really don't want to start you into shorting, but I don't think that affiliate link's ever going to get clicked, to be honest with you. I may do that in my course, probably, on shorting. That'll be in there, but actually, I don't have that section. I need to do that. There's another course, shorting. I'll probably do the affiliate link in there because I'll feel that you're actually a little knowledgeable in shorting, but shorting is a little bit of a different ball game than going long is, because the market has a general upside bias is what it's called. And so that upside bias basically leads to being able to stay longer in long positions, and short positions are sometimes very difficult to trade profitably because they have a shorter shelf life than a long position does. Um, that's what I hear. High risk, but is it still risky if you watch it with no stop position? Um, yeah, so I had a trade yesterday go against me, and there was just a huge market order, and I had a mental stop. I didn't have a physical stop on that particular trade, and my mental stop was hit, but it jumped above my mental stop by like too much, and I was down like 20% in that particular trade just on a jump. So I don't know if I could have. I don't know if a stop loss would have done any better, but yeah, I mean, if you go to the bathroom, if you walk away and get a sandwich or something, you definitely want to have stop losses in place. Ram says, when will the buy date be? Any predictions? May 25th. I just went over that actually. May 25th. That's kind of funny. Tone Vase calls everything a scam. What did he call a scam? Yeah, can I be honest with you guys? Everyone calls everything a scam. Everyone calls nothing's a scam. BitConnect was a scam. Even I said BitConnect was a scam, but markets aren't a scam. Bitcoin's not a scam. Some of the ICOs are scams, but selling isn't a scam. Market action isn't a scam, you know? Danny asks, have you had the issue of stops not filling on BitMEX? Never works for me, so I have to watch it. I do. So there's two types of stops. You can do stop limit and stop market orders. I only do stop market orders. If I want to get out, I just want to get out. I don't do a stop limit order because if the market moves past your stop limit order without it being filled, it's never going to get filled. So you do a stop market order. I have not had that issue, Danny, with stop market orders. No, no, I haven't had that issue, not yet. I do have issues where I try to amend a stop and it takes like 18 attempts, but that's about it. Yeah, nice, Johnny B. Yeah, what a douchebag. That's the thing, like, these guys screaming HODL that mined their Bitcoin like 6 years ago, of course they're going to say HODL. They don't want you to tank their Bitcoin. Jay, no, it doesn't actually. Shorting is a pretty healthy part to the market. Everything gets exuberant in one direction or another. So, um, yeah, some shorts can try to crash some markets. You've seen that in like the most famous example of forcing something to break is George Soros's short on the British pound. So you can short it into submission, but you have to have extraordinarily deep pockets and balls of titanium. Put it back on BTC. Yeah, sorry. I'm really relaxed here chatting with you guys, so I'm just kind of hanging out. Can you still apply Elliott wave to this? I don't think you can apply Elliott wave to anything. That's actually false, but I'm not an Elliott wave fan. Um, I was actually watching a video on Paul Tudor Jones. I didn't know he used Elliott waves. I was not aware of that. Was not aware of that. Yes, Binance does have a stop market order. There's a blue arrow next to stop limit. If you click that, the first link is stop market. That's the first link there. I got in at ADA at 36 and now it's 18. I really don't know what to do. Well, that's a great reason why you should have stop losses in place. That's a great reason why you should have a plan. You really need to have a plan. Really need to have a plan. Really need to have a plan. So ADA's got, looks like it's got more room to go to the downside. I hate to say that. I hate to say that. Looks like it's got some more downside. But as long as Bitcoin has downside, you know, all these altcoins are going to have downside. Everyone's just taking risk out of the market is what they're doing slowly and methodically. And if you notice, ADA has increasing volume. That is not healthy. I'm not liking that action at all. Happy birthday, Randy. Well, thank you very much. A little premature. A little premature, but thank you. And we're going lower. Jay Diaz mentions this S-curve. You know what? I've never heard of this S-curve ever. I've never heard of it. I saw it somewhere, but I have no idea about what the S-curve even is, to be quite honest with you. I've got no idea. I have no idea what the S-curve is. Man, I just need to... That's a scam. Nice, Frank. I can read sarcasm a mile away, buddy. I like that. That's good. Oh, you don't know either, Jay. Come on. Throw me under the bus like that. It's a scam. It's all a scam. It's a scam. Bitcoin's a scam. Ripple's a scam. It's all a scam. Man, they really want to sell, but they really don't want to tank this market. They just don't want to tank it, but look at all that volume. It's just right there. I mean, these bases are shorter, shorter, shorter. There's going to be a washout here somewhere. There's going to be a washout here somewhere. Too late to sell what? S Bitcoin? You can sell Bitcoin at any time. Anytime. I don't know what too late to sell means. Like if it's the bottom, then I don't know. Let's look up S-curve. What's it called? S-curve in Bitcoin or something? S-curve in Bitcoin. It's not a bubble. It's an S-curve. Oh, are they talking about that? They're talking about that adoption chart. Oh, this S-curve. One of the most intriguing stories underpinning the recent rise in Bitcoin is how financial institutions will interact. Blah, blah, blah. S-curve is a classic adoption curve applied to the advent of new technologies as a percentage of the population. Adoption looks like a lag phase where the technology is utilized by innovators and technologies. So they're saying we're here is what they're saying. So I've heard rumors that we're at 2% adoption. I've heard rumors that we're at 2% adoption. So, you know, if we get the 50% adoption, then we basically get to like peak Bitcoin. This has nothing to do with price though. Like this really has nothing to do with price. Nothing. This is market share versus adoption rate is basically what it is. Yeah, I don't know. At least now I know what it is. Thank you for bringing it up. All right, come on. Clearing way for institutional money and a real bull run. I hope so. Man, if we get down to if we get sub 5,000 Bitcoin, if we get down to Bitcoin 4,000, 3,000, oh, that's going to be so nice just to pick up a ton of Bitcoin. Tons of Bitcoin. And then, you know, back up to 20,000. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, if we get down, if it gets to my birthday, if it gets to May 25th, and Bitcoin's at 2,600, everyone in here has to come back. Come back here on May 25th, okay? Come back here on May 25th. Just wondering when we will break Bitcoin 20,000. We will break Bitcoin 20,000 in January of 2019. I did some analysis on that earlier based on 2013 movements versus today, or not today specifically, today, but 2017 market. And if you extrapolate out from the top of 2013 to the bottom of, okay, let me just show you in the damn charts. Why do I have my hand in the air when I have a computer and you're on the other side of said computer? Oh, that is Bitstamp. Son of a... Okay. So if you take FUD Central here, MMA, FUD Central, FUD Central. If that's what you think I do, then you need to hang out a little bit longer and talk to some people around here. Definitely not FUD Central. Okay, yeah, so, you know, I was just doing some analysis here. And if you take this low in Bitcoin, the 6,000 low, from a time perspective to the high, it's 51, 52 days. And if you take it from 2013, it's like 200 and something days, or 140 days, or whatever it is. Come on. So I'll do this again for the 4th time today. So if you view this as the most, like if you think of the 2013 and this market scenario rhyming, here you go. You've got, this is the ultimate, this most recent low of 124 bars. So the current rally has taken, I'm sorry, the current market drop has taken 40% of the time that it took Bitcoin 2013 to drop to approximately the same point in the chart. Now, if you extrapolate that out to the ultimate low, which is the $160 here, that's 400 bars. That 400 bars equates to 160 bars, which equates to May 25th. May 25th, which happens to be my birthday. And if you extrapolate that out from where Bitcoin got from 1,200 here to the next time it hit 1,200, it took 2 years and 9 months. And took 2 years and 9 months. And if you extrapolate that out, that takes you to January until you hit 20,000 again. So bam, there you go. Explained. Explained. And that is how I know exactly when everything will happen. Because I am a genie. I'm a genie. All right. Did you guys follow that? Did I explain that appropriately? I hope everyone followed that. All right. Are we going down or are we going up here? Well, shit. I think we're going up here. There you go. Oh well. Yeah, I screwed up that trade. I hate it. I do some very excellent trades and then I make a bunch of dumb, stupid little decisions that kind of evaporate some of those trades. I'm still up big on the day, but I'm down much more than I would like to be down in terms of from my high of the day. Stupid. All right, what's going on here, you guys? I'm going to call it quits here in a little bit. I think I said that about 45 minutes ago. Okay. Chart guys. So the teaching moment here, Intelligent, is to, so a while ago someone asked me why do I have to work or get money if I can just trade. So I got a lot of market knowledge, but I have a problem that I every day I work on getting over this problem where I have a market hypothesis and then I'll take a position based on that market hypothesis and then I will basically talk myself out of my position. I will talk myself out of my position, which leads to over trading, which leads to me over trading, which leads to exorbitant trading fees, which leads to account being chopped up too much, which leads the account being chopped up too much. That is my problem. I do everything else great. My analysis is great. My timing's generally great, but I can FUD myself. I don't watch news, guys. I don't watch news. I don't troll Twitter. I don't, yeah, but that's what happens. That's what happens. Now, to keep it real, I have most of my accounts in cash. I moved 0.15 Bitcoin. I moved 0.15 Bitcoin over to BitMEX. It's now 0.57 Bitcoin. So I'm profitable. Don't get me wrong. I'm profitable. I did that in 2 days, this most recent market drop. I knew we were going to drop, so I moved some Bitcoin over to play with it, and I basically quadrupled this account. But it was at 0.67 Bitcoin earlier today, and yeah, I just made a bunch of stupid decisions, and it just pisses me off that you whittle away basically 0.1 Bitcoin for no fucking reason. Just gets frustrated. Just frustrating. We all have our flaws, and I'm flawed as well. That's my flaw right there. That's my flaw right there, is that I can make 400% or 300% and be pissed off because I lose 0.1 of a Bitcoin. So, yeah, you know what? It's just general trading errors, and it's constant refinement of your skill set, and it's something that you know, like a lot of people, I get a little too happy when I do a little too good, and that wasn't the case, you know, right now, but that's happened to me in the past, and it's all psychology. It's all psychology. Staying disciplined, staying focused. Sometimes I can't stay focused. Sometimes I can't stay focused. Done good. The past 2 days, though, I've done good at staying focused. And the fact that I'm playing very leveraged makes me stay focused. So, all right, let's see here. Sorry, I was looking at the chart, just kind of reminiscing about my weird day. Am I a day trader? I don't view myself as a day trader. I really don't. But this market right now lends itself to day trading. I would rather buy Bitcoin at 3,000 and sell it at 17,000 all day long than I would like to trade every move in Bitcoin. That's what I would like to do. The reality is I have too much of a day trader in me that probably won't allow me to do that. So, what's my opinion on Silicone and his tutorials? I don't know. I don't do Elliott waves, and there's no reason. Oh, you know what? I saw his tutorials actually, but I didn't look at it. Like I saw them on the like I saw his menu of them on Steam it, but I didn't go into it. I didn't go into them. Looks like the next resistance point will be around 7,900. I haven't pulled any analysis on that, so I'm not sure right now. We're down to the point now where analysis kind of becomes, I don't know. We've been dropping for so far that I just think the price volume level the price action I think is more pertinent now than kind of like support levels. Like we've broken through a few support levels. I had 9,000 was a decent support level. I had 8,800 as a measured move. That's obviously been eclipsed. So we're kind of into some interesting area here. Intelligence says, I feel you. Without that, you'd be rich, no doubt. You know what, man? I used to have a sticker on my laptop in 2004 that said, "You are always right." Said you were always right. Like I would have these theses on the market, and they would play out, but I would just trade it like garbage. My execution of my thesis, I would talk myself out of it in the middle of the trade. That's my problem. Everyone has a problem. My market analysis, dude, I think it's great. I'm not mad about my technical analysis, but sometimes my execution of my trade is my problem. And I know the rules. I know all the rules. Forward and backward and sideways, but that's not the problem. It's the execution. It's like anything, right? You can have a great idea for an application, but if you can't code it, it's not going anywhere. So I've been working on the coding for a long time. Reversal candle forming on the hourly, but a ways to go for the form. Can I wrap up my live stream? I don't know, man. It's been a long live stream. We've really just been shooting the shit for like 2.5 hours, to be honest with you. You guys have been asking questions, talking to each other, talking to me. I'm talking back. So it's been kind of fun. Those who can't teach, Robert. You know what? There you go. Well, hey, I'm profitable, so I'm doing it at the same time I'm teaching as well. And to be honest with you, teaching reinforces what you already know. So by me teaching this and you know, I'm doing myself a service as well. And I won't say that I can't. Like I said, I just tripled my Bitcoin BitMEX account in 2 days. Okay? I tripled that account in 2 days. I can. It's not that I can't. I can. When Bitcoin recovered from the 2013 crash, went all the way back to 1180. It then proceeded to approximately 20,000, which is 1,700% gain. What are the chances that repeats? Fairly good. I think there's a fairly good chance that repeats. I don't know if that percentage repeats, but the general thesis that we eclipse 20,000 will happen. Are you performing better than holding Bitcoin? Any proof of your trade history? I am not performing better than holding Bitcoin. I have not. Since I entered the market, I have not. I have not. No, definitely have not. And that's been a point of contention with me personally, is that I have not. And I hold myself accountable for that. When I started, I could have bought 3 Bitcoins. I now have 1.5 Bitcoin. So overall, I'm down. Dude. I was up 200%. I was up 200%. And then, even though I knew the market was in a downtrend, I couldn't stop myself from trading. And I got very lazy with my stops. I had too many large losses. You guys saw my calls. I knew it was going to happen, but what happened was I got too spread out in my positions. I broke one of my rules, which is to not have more than 5 positions. I broke one of my rules, and I actually forgot about several positions that went down 20 and 30%. And my Binance account, I traded from $700 to $7,000 in 3 weeks. and then I let that evaporate. It just evaporated. It just evaporated. So there you go. Why would you trade if you are losing Bitcoin? Why do you still believe if TA is so? I'm just trying to learn. So again, the problem isn't the technical analysis. The problem is not the technical analysis. It's my implementation of the process. It's my implementation of the strategy. When I implement my strategy well, I'm very successful. I'm very successful. I have a stock strategy right now. I'm not even bullshitting you right now. In June of this last year, I had $12,500 in my Roth IRA. I now have $71,000 in my Roth IRA because I have a definitive strategy that is what I think pretty damn bulletproof. And it's proof, the proof is in the pudding. I've taken about 30, 40 trades between June and now, and I have a very definitive strategy that I am working like a whore, okay? I'm working that strategy like a whore, and the proof is in the pudding. When I trade my strategy well, it works like gangbusters. When I get lazy with my trading, it just all goes away. It all goes away. So, welcome to trading. Turtles. Are you talking about like the trading turtles? Is this a bounce back? It's a bounce back. I'm not sure if it's like the bounce back. So Ladyboy City, my best returns have been buying ICOs down 70 to 80% and not touching them. You know what? I've thought about doing something like that, to be quite frank with you, because if you go back and do the analysis, when you look at those ICOs after they take that big first drawdown, ADA was a good one of that, and I actually traded ADA really well. I did trade ADA really well, but if you did that, so ADA had this big down draw, so it did come down quite significantly. And it wasn't 70%, it came down 50%. But when you buy in the dumps like that of a good quality coin, I actually have a strategy based on this that never got to play out because the market turned to shit. But that is actually a very good strategy if it's a good ICO. If it's a good ICO. So let me leave you guys with this. I'm gonna get out of here. It's 11:30. I'm gonna go to bed. I gotta get up early to take my kids to school. Let me erase these lines. I'm gonna tell you what I did over the past couple of days. Like legitimately what I did. And you can go in my stock trading chat room. I actually have a video of this trade. I have a video of this trade, and I made videos of these trades. Oh, you can't see it. I'm on the wrong screen. Okay. Just to show you guys that technical analysis works. For those of you that are still kind of willy-nilly or on the fence. There we go. Like I'm legit with this. I shorted right here. Here you go. I shorted right here, and I covered, I don't know exactly where I covered. I shorted right here below this prior bar. Okay, I shorted, it's different on BitMix than it is on this particular, actually, can I get BitMix up here? I don't know if I can. Anyway, I shorted here and I covered, I think right here somewhere. I don't remember exactly. I actually shorted like, I shorted here and screwed that trade up. I shorted here and got stopped out. I shorted here and got stopped out. I shorted here and I took a profit. So I got stopped out several times trying to catch, subsequent drops. I think I shorted here and got stopped out. I shorted here, and then, I mean, I'm not going to go through every trade. I took a lot of trades. I woke up last night. Is this last night? I'm trying to get my bearings here. Yeah, I woke up at 3 a.m. This one's kind of funny. I woke up at 3 a.m. and I shorted here. I shorted on this drop right here. So there's a trend line right here. So my kid peed his bed last night. And I woke up at 3 a.m., came to the charts, saw this, shorted on this break right here. Volume wasn't fantastic. And then I set a stop loss a little bit above here, and it got hit by $30. It got hit by $30, and then look what happened. So I was a little bit too tight with my stop with that particular one. Mt. Gox is selling again. That's okay. Anyway, so then I went to bed, and then I woke up, and then this morning I shorted here, right about here, a little lower than I wanted, a little bit lower than I wanted, and then I covered, I think, about the same area. I tend to cover it about the same way. I try to wait till everything falls out, and then I shorted this. But I screwed up a couple of trades in here really badly with some size. I had a couple inadvertent button clicks. Anyway, guys, the whole point of the matter is this. If you know how to read the charts and ascertain support, resistance, accumulation, and distribution, you can do extraordinary things with trading. That's pretty much what I wanted to point out. I'm not trying to brag to you guys, but people say, does TA work? Is TA valid? Ladies and gentlemen, the guys that make money in the market use technical analysis. I mean, this stuff is teachable. This stuff is definitely teachable. All right, anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to go to bed and get out of here. So have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. I'm all cash. I'm not going to do any more shorting. I'm kind of chopped up for the day. I'm traded out for the day. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. It's been fun. Thanks for listening to me rant. Have a good night. Where's the stop button? There it is.